Good morning. We are going to start the videos for Unit 4. All right. Here's a division expression, 60 divided by 4. In division, the 60 is the dividend, and the 4 is the divisor. The result of division, the answer, do you remember? Starts with a Q, quotient. Now pause the video whenever you need to. I'm not making an Ed puzzle this time. So 60 divided by 4 is 15. We can reason about the quotient, meaning not doing the math, by looking at the size of the dividend and the divisor. The dividend is larger, so the quotient will be greater than 1. If your dividend is greater, your answer is greater. These are both very close together. The dividend, first number, and the divisor, the second number when we divide, are close together, so the quotient will be close to 1. And 50, the dividend is smaller than the divisor, so the quotient will be less than 1. All right. I would like you to try to work out these problems. Pause the video before continuing. Without computing, find the value. Smaller than 1, close, or greater. Well, we always look at the dividend for this. This is greater, so the answer is greater. These are close together, so your answer is close to 1. These are also close to 1. This is less, the dividend is less, so your answer is smaller, which I like the word less better. This is greater, and this is less. We'll notice each time we're looking at the dividend, the beginning of division. Find a value to make it true. Well, if I want the answer to be greater, my dividend has to be greater. Any number greater than 6 will work. I want it to be equal. That would be exactly 6. I want it to be less. It has to be less than 6. That could be 2. It could be a decimal. Equal to a whole number. It's kind of a random. I could just say 6 or 7. If it's less than 6, it's going to be a decimal. Same idea. If I want this to be close to 1, this has to be very close to 40. So I'm going to say 40. If I want it to be less, that number has to be less. That would be 4. And if I want it to be greater, this number must be greater, 4,000. All right, lesson 2 summary. We have 24 bagels. We're putting them in the boxes. 24 divided by 3. Well, 24 is our dividend. And what is the name of the 3? Divisor. This is showing 3 boxes with 8 in each box. This is showing 8 boxes with 3 in each box. In both of these descriptions, the dividend is the same. They all start with 24, but it has different meanings. The quotient for the first problem tells us the number of bagels in the boxes, which is 8. The quotient in the second problem tells us the number of boxes, which was 8. Please write the multiplication equations. And then, of course, we should always practice our fact family. So 24 divided by 3 and 24 divided by empty box equals 3. Now, this is the problem you would use to find the answer. The practice, please try on your own. Pause the video before you go on. Fact family, 4.5 divided by empty box equals 3. And then empty box times 3. and 3 times empty box. Remember, your dividend and your products will always be the same. And I use an empty box for my question mark. If you'd rather use a question mark, you can. And these should always be the same. That's a good way to check your work. Write the division and multiplication equation for each situation. 2.5 gallons of water are poured equally into 5 equally sized bottles. That's division. When we divide something into equal amounts. So 2.5 divided by 5 equals empty box. So empty box times 5 equals 2.5. You switch it around. A large bucket is divided. Well, that's easy. 200 divided by 4, which becomes, who knows, times 4 equals 200, right? Your dividend and your product. 16 socks are put into pairs. Well, how many socks are in a pair? That's 2. So 16 divided by 2, turn it into multiply. Okay. Lesson 3. When you have equal size groups, the number of the groups and the size of the group, and thinking about the total. So we're always thinking number of group, size of group, and the total. We have 3 bottles with 6.5 ounces of water in each. The total amount of water is not given. 3 groups of 6.5. So we're trying to find that answer right there, which is either our quotient or it's our product. We can express this as multiplication because we're missing that product. The unknown is the product. So we're going to multiply the 2 numbers that we do know, which would be 3 times 6.5 equals empty box. We could also write this as empty box divided by 3 gives us 6.5. Okay, the next one. If we have 20 ounces of water and we want to fill 6 bottles, that is division. We're trying to find that missing amount. So we would have 20 divided by 6 equals, I don't know how much is in each box, or it's 20 and I end up with 6 boxes. And I change it to multiply. And hopefully, after doing this pattern over and over and over, you will recognize that your dividend and your product are always the same. I'm going to go a little farther here. Now we have 40 ounces of water, and we're going to put it into 12 bottles. We don't know how many groups, but we know how much in each group. This total is, of course, our product, but it also becomes the dividend. So you notice right here, it's the product, and here is the dividend when we change it to division. Maya has $36. Remember, work on these, pause your video, try to do it yourself. Each ticket costs $4.50, so 36 divided by $4.50 equals empty box. Now to find the answer, there's several things you can do. One thing I notice is I know $4.50 plus $4.50 equals 9. That means I'm using 2 of them. And I know 9's going to 36. 9 times 4 is 36. So it means I need 4 9s. And I need that twice. So I think I need 8. Let's do 450 times 8 because 2 times 4. So 0, 40, 8 times 4 is 32 plus 4 is 36. So we need 8. We can get 8 tickets. This would be 54 divided by 18 equals empty box. 54. Just 1 minute before you come in. You guys didn't listen. I said 1 minute. Okay, there you go. That's the first part of the video. Good job, guys.